When the church was on the verge of collapsing, the villagers were asked not to go for the morning prayer. 6 months passed, and village society experienced what Swamiji has talked here, tremendous erosion of all the ethical and moral values. Corruption was rampant. And the villagers got very much concerned. And the way we are here together, they also got together. And I think that with the head priest, that something should be done. That's Swamiji, that's why we requested Swamiji, that Swamiji must come and bless us. And we are grateful that he decided to come to Hyderabad and bless us. So there, after great deliberations, there came 3 powerful resolutions which I would like to see. I see day in and day out in the corporate world, day in and day out in the academic world. The first resolution was, church is a great instrument to inculcate moral values among people, and we don't have a church, and that's why the entire social fabric of the village society has been disturbed. Resolution number 1, we must have a church, or we must have a temple, we must have a gurudwara, we must have a mosque. So that was the one resolution. Villagers got excited, celebration began, they started dancing, and the second resolution was read. Dear friends, all our lives have been around the old church, and the old church has made a very significant contributions to our life, and that's why the new church must be built on the place of the old church. They said, aha, nothing can be better than this. Fantastic around this. What a great wisdom we have got. And Swamiji was talking something about the third resolution. And the third resolution was read more loudly, more vociferously articulated. And the third resolution was that the new church must be built without destroying the old church. And the new church was never built. Swamiji, this is the dilemma of their experience. No one is prepared, no one is courageous to say that the new church must be built on the place of on the new place, not on the old place. We all are very much adhere, stuck to old cultural ethos, whether we talk of the university system or anywhere in the world. And I remember very well what Dr. Radi was really saying. I had the confluence of the great vice chancellors of the Central Universities when I was in IIM Lucknow. Three knows about that. So we had about 17 vice chancellors and the deans. So I began with one thing, that tell me some of the things which you feel very excited about your achievement. All vice chancellors said one thing: exams are on time now. No unrest problem in the university. We feel that it's a time we must build a new church, to a new place. We must have cultural connection. I would say few things which can be initiated, and I think that it's not a sermon, it's not the advice, it's also not the wisdom. It's some of the experiences of working in 7 institutions of the world, I would like to say. Began with BHU, University of Rajasthan, Jaipur, 7 years of stay in America, Indiana University of Bloomington, then came to XLRI, and it's 13 years of my life at Institute of College of India, Hyderabad University. So that's why I was talking with Mallikarjun that this is the city where I fell in love. It was my youthful love. That's why whenever I get a chance to come to Hyderabad, I always come. Then IIM Bangalore, and then MDI, and then IIM Lucknow, and back to MDI again. So I would just share my experiences. Maybe naive, maybe not so worthwhile. First thing which I see, that's why the first lesson which I would like to say, and I would say about Gandhi, when Gandhi began his movement, he talked something about non-cooperation and non-violence. And he was confronted once by a very young political scientist, and you all might be knowing what his name, Malikan, Acharya, Malikan. And went, and when Gandhi's lecture was over, he went and he said, Mr. Gandhi, you may be great authority on Bible, Quran, and Gita. So Gandhiji asked a question, you may be great authority on Bible, Quran, and Gita. But Mr. Gandhi, I would like to say that you don't have a sense of history. He was a young person, bubbling with all the energy. Because history doesn't have a single example where a nation got freedom without bloodshed and violence. And Mr. Gandhi will talk about the non-violence. Non-violence for freedom. Let me repeat, Mr. Gandhi, you may be great authority on Bible, Quran, and Gita, but Mr. Gandhi, you don't have a sense of history. That lecture was at Lucknow. Gandhi looked towards him and said, Mr. Professor of History, you are very right that Gandhi doesn't have a sense of history. But Mr. Professor of History, I would like to say something very frankly. Mr. Professor of History, Gandhi believes in creating history rather than being trapped by the history. I think that Swamiji is saying, let's build the mindset of Gandhi in us. Let's create history. We should not be trapped by the history. So let's move from Macaulay to Vivekananda. The journey should be from Macaulay to Vivekananda. Only the journey is from Macaulay to Vivekananda. You will be perpetuating past. You will not be creating future. I think that it's the time when we should talk of tomorrow. If we talk of tomorrow, we can make our today. If we talk of yesterday, we can spoil our today against tomorrow. So that's why moving from Macaulay to Vivekananda is one thing. What can be done in the perspective of the management school? I'd like to take 4 or 5 points, that 5 pondering over discussions, collectively applying our wisdom and crystallizing our thoughts and converting it to some kind of action plans. So that's why I will be suggesting that this confluence can be also converted into some kind of position, post-conclave position paper, something like that, and circulate and give to AICT and all the academic institutions that will be very contributions. So we should not be just deliberations and end without any something like that. First which I see, most of the schools are becoming teaching schools. It's a very, very unfortunate. Not only private schools are becoming teaching schools, even great IIMs and MDI, they also becoming teaching schools. And I remember very well, in 2001, my colleague, I had the privilege of working with him in IIM Lucknow, when we began our PhD program, what issue and try. The response was, we are not prepared for that. And I made a statement, became slightly autocrat, and I said, on 1st July, we are starting PhD program. And Dilip Bandyopadhyay is the first dean of the PhD program of the university. We began PhD. And Lucknow PhD program is very important. How to bring, because we are in a Brahminical profession. How can we become a Brahmin without writing Vedas? How can we become a Brahmin without research? I think that's it. So first thing which I would like to say, the school will have to move from the teaching-centric phenomenon to the research-centric phenomenon, where research must be heavily emphasized. And in MDI we did something very interesting. The place where all the professors sit, the name of the building is Scholars. So someone came and told me, Atman, one of my colleagues came and told me, sir, आप तो इस building में घुसते समय कुछ शर्म आती है. हम पूछते हैं कि हम scholar हैं कि नहीं. अब तो scholar बनना ही पड़ेगा. We named the building as scholar. Symbolically, we are saying that you are in a Brahminical profession. If you want to be in a Brahminical profession, please write Vedas. Those who don't write Vedas, they should get out. And Brahmins in the olden days never cared about money. Brahmins in the olden days, they cared about creating knowledge, no pursuit of knowledge. I remember very well when I started laying down my office in Lucknow, I had very fabulous offer for the world of 85 lakhs. My children, my wife, they all said, पागलपन की बात खत्म हो गई. Now you should make some money in your life. And Ravi told me, भैया आपके लिए money problem होगी तो हमको बोल दिया. I was sharing about my problem of money with Ravi. So मैंने कहा Brahmins are always mad. To be a Brahmin you need madness. To be a professor you need madness. To be a professor you need passion. If you don't have that madness and passion, then you would be doing a great disservice to your profession. I think that how to create a holistic school where we have got creation of knowledge, where we have got dissemination of knowledge, and we have also got the application of knowledge. Because luckily management schools, unlike the creation of knowledge, they are also in the business of dissemination of knowledge and application of knowledge. That's why it can be combined powerfully and beautifully the research, consulting, training, as well as education. Why? Because the great technology schools, they have got great labs. If you don't have a lab, you'll be surprised, Dr. Reddy, since he was reading a question, he was making a very powerful statement. In the physical sciences, Dr. Reddy, action begins after research. So there is a forward incremental innovation movement. And that's why we talk about the molecular biology, that physics, unless we do this one, the action would be, in terms of technology development, the one which will be cutting edge technology. But in the management field, Dr. Reddy is a very interesting kind of thing. We build theories out of practices. It's a very interesting point I'm making. We build theories out of practices. That's why in management, with theories you can't solve the problems. Are you getting or not? Because theories are the expression of past. Theories are the expressions of past. In physical sciences, theories are the mother of the future innovation. But in management, something very interesting. How can you solve the present problem with the theories which were evolved in the past? I think that's where, unless you build very powerful labs, unless you build a powerful laboratories, hospitals, code, I think that management can't do it. So that's why creation of knowledge, application of knowledge, and education, and continuing education must be good. Please think about this one. I'm not trying to say that you should do consulting only in the corporate world. Private schools can start doing consulting in the communities and all that. But somewhere, the practices are important. If the practices are not important, friends, blind will be leading blind. Many times I feel bad, those who haven't managed anything in their life, they teach management. And in the olden gurus, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, they were the great warriors, not very great gurus. That's where the teaching was very relevant. How to create warriors in the management field? It can happen provided you bring all the things together. That's why the concept of holistic school is one. The second point I would like to say, Swamiji, is talks something very interesting. It's a great demographic dividend in this country. I have got very great training. India should capture the world. India will never get a chance to capture the world. Kind of chance they got. 62% population of this country, age group being 22 and 37, can you believe it? The whole world will be looking towards India for the manpower. They will be looking for the scientists. They will be looking for the technocrats. They will be looking for the managers. It is time, my dear friends, to send all your commanders to Europe, America, because there is aging population, and reverse the process of colonization. We have got a very great opportunity to reverse the process of colonization. Today, if you go to America, Americans talk very differently about Indians. They talk very differently about Indians because of IITs and scientists. It's a great. My second would be that think about the global perspective when you think about management education. Don't talk only about Indians are, IIMs are extremely very happy. 240,000 people applying, and we have got only about 120 seats. When the Minister of HRD said, why don't you make 1,000? Oh, quality will go down and something like that. What a myopic view. It's something like that. You are a businessman and talk about, there is too much demand, create a scarcity of supply, and make money out of that. Don't do that, please. I would like to say all the IIMs, and I will request one is because he is here, all the IIMs must be forced to take at least 1,000 students every year. Create the global leaders. Create abundance in that. And I think that today, I think that your Vice Chairman is not here. Swami Parthasarathy is making very significant contribution in the policy for research. The 1 point agenda which we have been talking in the AICT, create abundance of supply. Today also, for controlling inflation, no one is talking about supply side. People are talking only about the demand side. I am not anonymous, so I told someone, what is myopic view? No one is talking about supply side. How much monetary instrument you are going to use to curtail inflation? I would like to say, increase supply side. Of course, Swamiji is very convinced about that. Sripad Upadhyaya, Ravi all are saying that we should say that can we create about 100 institutions of excellence. Can also create some institutions which can be far superior compared to IIMs. We should talk about that. So that's why I would like to say, have global perspective. Have global perspective. And I think that if you don't have a global perspective, this country is going to have social violence. But this country can't absorb by providing suitable employment to people. That's why I have global perspective. That's one is the management education has been highly concept-based. Highly concept-based. Even today, I am teaching for the first time after so many years, after I am in Bangalore, I am teaching OB. So someone came and asked me, which book you are prescribing? So I said, what do you mean by which book? He said, no, we have been prescribing Robinson. Can you prescribe Robinson for you also? I said, Robinson book? It's a very old kind of book, that. He said, but that's what we have to really doing. I think Swamiji is very right. I was in BHU. We started building a MBA program. So the young person always gets the assignment. So I was looking at Harvard, Yale, Columbia, Princeton, all these syllabi and something like that. My professor was Gautamji, so he came and told me, Pritam, tumhare chai peene ke liye bhi nahi aate ho. I don't see to come even for tea and something like that. So I said, Guruji, I will building MBA syllabi and something like that. He told me something. Tu kuch bhi syllabus bana le. हम तो वही पढ़ाने के लिए हमको आता है. How to move from the preponderant concept-centric school to the issue, because issues are very different today. I'll tell you something very interesting. Last night I was with my son. So he has been telling his son, you must be clear about the value for money. You must be careful about the value for money. Don't spend money and so on and so forth. So one day he was saying that, Daddy, I took him for to the hotel, Das Krishna. And I also invited a friend of mine. So a friend of mine, he drinks, so he took about 4 packs of scotch, and we had to pay a lot of money. And then Bilal said that, Daddy, he is very much, he doesn't care about the value for money. You spend so much money, Daddy, I think that you should not have ordered scotch for him. Can you see or not? Can you see the children or not? How curious they are. How questioning they are. Virtually he was telling my son, don't talk value for money with me. You must also practice value for money in your life. Get that. This is the kind of society emerging. Are we having in syllabi such kind of things? No, we're not. What Swamiji has talked about, exploitation, ethics, are we having those kind of things or not? So how the business schools, my dear friends, can move from the concept to issue, that's something which I would like to say. Management schools, the greatest I am a very vehement critic of management schools. Management schools groom people to manage business. Unfortunately, management schools don't groom people to create business. We need more business creators. We need more wealth creators in this country. We don't need more managers. How? And I think that I would like to tell you that don't think that this 98 percentile fellows on the GMAT, they can create business. Had Gandhi written the CAT examination of India, he could have flunked 20 times. Gandhi became Gandhi not because of the power of CAT. Gandhi became Gandhi because of some other power. Even those fellows who have got about 75% on CAT, they can build creators. Don't think that 98 percentile or 99 percentile fellows can be wealth creators. How to create a passion among people that, hey, you should become a wealth creators. And I think that even people can start some kind of plumbing job, they can make a lot of money. So one day I was telling my wife, I have become too old, otherwise I thought today that I can start a plumbing job. Can make tons of money because we don't have good plumbers, we don't have good electricians. And society needs that. But I would like to join and sell soap rather than what is wrong with it. So I think that cutting edge Brahminical mind always true. No, please don't try to misunderstand. Luckily that is not here, so I will talk about Brahminical mind. I'm sorry. I talk about Brahminical mind. I'm not talking about Brahminical caste. Because Brahmin has been defined in Gita, you must have read that Janmana Jayate Sudra, Sanskara Dujmuchite, and Veda Bhyasa Bhavet Vipra, Brahmana Janati Brahmana. A Brahmin understand Brahma. Once you understand Brahma, the purpose of life, I think that you are a Brahmin. Not because of anything. So I'm talking about can be, because a Brahminical mind has always ruled the world. I think that this country needs to be much more Brahminical, and that's what Swamiji was talking about. Elementary education, higher education, promote that one. Future belongs to Brahminical nation. Non-Brahminical nation would be the slaves. Future would not belong to Brahminical nation. Last point which I would like to say. It's a sad commentary in this country. I think that day by day, corruption is unethical governance is heightened and increasing. And that is one area where all the politicians have got tremendous consensus how to heighten the corruption in this country. This is the one area where they all get together. No other area they ever get together, but this is one area they get together. How to create a silent movement, undergo silent movement. Everyone can't be Gandhi at least. It can be Krishna. Everyone can't be Vivekananda. It can be bring a silence of Vivekananda in all of us. That's what we find. Ethical part, contribution part is important. Everyone talks about psychology of entertainment. No one talks about psychology of entertainment. Never in our scripture anywhere the entitlement of the king has been defined. But the duty of the king has been defined beautifully. Whole society was organized around psychology of Dhyanta, never psychology of Dhyanta. How to bring the psychology of Dhyanta? Dharma. How to bring psychology of contribution? How to bring psychology of ethical governance? It's interesting. And I will tell you that we must train people that truth ultimately triumphs. Dharma ultimately triumphs. And if you read from in the war, you know that there are 3 slokas, very powerful slokas. War must have read, because one thing which I like about South, very jokingly I say, North Indians have killed gods and goddesses, but South Indians have kept them alive. Ravi knows about my dictum. So when I talk with Ravi, I always say, great beauty of South, that they have kept the god and gods and goddesses alive. Dharma I can see much more. Duryodhana moved into Dronacharya, saying that Pasyitam Pandiputrana, Pasyitam Pandiputrana, and Acharya Mahatichamo, and Bhiradrapata Putrena Tausishchiratim. See the great army of Pandavas, lashed by the disciples, trained by you, and led by Drishtadharma. But he thought that he has made some mistake. He has made some tactical mistake, because he is praising Pandavas' armies. So he goes to second sloka. And like next sloka, he said, Guruji, don't bother about that, because Annecha Bhavasura, Annecha Bhavasura, Madarthe Taktijuta, and Nana Satpahara, and Sarve Yutta Visarda. Great and great commanders, all of Kauravas, and they are prepared to do life for me. They are prepared to do life for me, not for the purpose. And you go sloka after sloka, when I read that sloka, that struck me. The sloka goes something like this. You must have read that. Anne Sutta Sarvesu. Anne Sutta Sarvesu. And Yatha Bhavam Avastha. And Vismamevaram Chantu Bhavanta Sarvehu. Now you, great commanders, collectively save the life of Bhisma. I asked a question, why save the life of Bhisma? Why not annihilate Pandavas? Kill Pandavas, destroy them? He was knowing so long that Bhisma is alive, the great epitome, the great embodiment of Dharma with Kauravas. So long as Bhisma is alive, no one can conquer. Dharma has got very great power. Ethical governance has got great power. And the last point which I would like to tell my colleagues who are running schools, get out of the trading mentality to the business mentality. Businessman makes money. He doesn't exploit. Traders, they exploit. It's an auto-rickshaw mentality. When the lady has got a labor pay, he will quote the price, give me so much price. He doesn't care about the business. I feel very bad when I talk with the people. But sometimes I also, once for my brother-in-law's son, I asked someone, medical college, that I am looking for admission relating to it. Is it possible? So he said that 25 lakhs. So I said, what do you mean by that? How people can put 25 lakhs? Do you know that some people can question you in the court? He said, admission चाहते हो तो 25 लाख दो. Question करना हो तो court चले जाओ. I think that such kind of institutions will never grow. If you want to create Yale, Princeton, Columbia, Harvard, Chicago, I think that you must think about this one as a business. A good businessman talks like tortoise. A good businessman doesn't talk like Don. Don't get out from the Don's syndrome to the businessman syndrome. You can make money. I must also tell you, you can really make money. Your quality is very high. You charge any money you can really make money. Education, you can really make money with tremendous amount of respect. However, if you don't increase the quality, then you are exploiting. So move from the trading mentality to businessman mentalities. I think that it was great to have Swamiji here. It was great to have Dr. Reddy here. So I thought that let me also put some of the small appendix along with very exciting lecture of Swamiji. Great discourse I would like to say of Swamiji and some of the wisdom that came from it. Thank you very much that you invited me to share some of my thoughts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Singh, for your quite thought-provoking messages here. And I now, there's a slight change in the program. I now request Venkatramana to go for a vote of thanks.
Very thought-provoking points which were raised in the inaugural session. Due to paucity of time, we thought we would move on to the next session after this short tea break. But before that, we would like to fiercely thank Swami Dr. Parthasarathy, Professor A.R. Reddy Garu, Dr. T.K. Bandyopadhyaya, and of course, the Guru of Gurus, Professor Pritam Singh, for having taken their time, and of course our friend and philosopher guide Ravi Kumarji, for having guided us through this whole roundtable exercise. I'm sure during the next sessions we'll all have time to deliberate, but they set the tone for the entire day's roundtable, and I think I will take this advice of Professor Singh very seriously. Already Professor Mishra has hinted that we will again continue this consortium or confluence to publish this, and we will have Professor Pritam Singh Ji to write our foreword for this interesting. As a mark of our gratefulness to Dr. Swami Parthasarathy Garu and for the contributions he has made to the cause of management education in India, we would like to felicitate him on behalf of the organizing committee. May I request Professor Ramchandra Reddy Garu to kindly felicitate Swami Dr. Parthasarathy on this occasion. Thank you, sir, for accepting our felicitation. May I now announce that we break for tea. And as you know, since we have delivered a lot, we'll only take 10 minutes. The next speakers have already come, and the next session will be chaired by Professor Ravi Kumar. I don't know how we will handle within 1 hour 5 speakers, but I'm sure we'll have a very interesting discussion later on. Thank you very much. We need a local.
No, send some local man.
Please.
Whenever you want.
He's going. He's going.
Stop this session.